put these two missions to the people of Uganda, okwagala okutegeeza abanyuganda ensonga zino ebbiri. We put forward the 10 points program of the NRM. Twarangirira ensonga 10 za NRM. Tuli mu nsiko. Point number 5 of those points talked of building an independent, integrated, self-sustaining economy, linked both vertically and horizontally. In spite of obstructions by the parasites, the uninformed, and the traitors, we have done exactly that. We have moved through or into five phases. Phase 1, bring back the small island economy of 1980 that Amin and the subsequent regimes had destroyed, totally informalizing the economy into one of magendo, smuggling, Chibanda, forex black market, Kusamra, speculation, resulting in terrible shortages. By 1995, the shortages had ended, and so had the informalization. Cotton had been restored, and so has tea and tourism, but not copper yet, because we insist on a higher value for it. Phase 2, expand the island. We have done that. Coffee has grown from 2 million bags now to 9 million bags. Tea from 3 million kilograms to 60 million kilograms, not 6, it is 60 million kilograms. Write it properly. Tourism, from earning US dollars 132 million in 1970 to now earning $1.28 billion. Phase 3, we have diversified the products in the money economy. The British had misdirected our people by telling them that cash crops were coffee, cotton, tea, cocoa, and tobacco, and maize, milk, bananas, cassava, etc. were not cash crops, but only food products for subsistence purposes. That's what the British, abazungu bali bayigiriza abantu baffe nti ebikola sente ze mwanyi, pamba, koko, chai, netaba. Kasoli oyo wakulya buli. Amata gabalala okunywera mu lukoola. Ente z'ennyama ezo muzirireeyo mu lukoola, temuzireeta wano mu tawuni. Amatooke, musogole omwenge gwe muba mubeerako eyo mu kyalo. So that those are not cash crops. So you had a place like Ntungamo where which I know very well. You know Ntungamo is post office, private bag mbara. They don't even have a post office number. Bagamanti Ntungamo pure private bag mbara. We didn't have any cash crop. There were only a few families in Deja, sub-county, who I used to hear had some coffee. Then a few families in Buonjara. They were also there. I was hearing about them. Then a few families in Cheizoba, one of the sub-counties. and then later on some families in Chamhunga started tea. But the rest of us who were there, we had cows, we had bananas, but no cash. No cash crop. I rejected this logic. The basic human needs, here, this is basic. The basic human needs are food, clothes, shelter, that is housing, locomotion, vehicles, medicine, utilities like electricity, and services such as education and health. If you produce a product or a service for any of these purposes, it is potentially a cash product. All these are money. They are food, but also money. Therefore, on the agricultural side, we now have bananas, maize, cassava, Irish potatoes, milk, beef, sorghum, sugarcane, millet, beans, peas, groundnuts, palm oil, simsim, cocoa, fish, pigs, poultry, fruits, rice, cashew nuts, etc., as cash crops or cash products on top of the original colonial cash crops. That's our situation. Bali bagamba nti omukaaga, ffe tugamba nti 40 kumpi. Byonna bikola sente, bino byonna byemenya wano. Phase 4, we have been insisting on value addition. Where we have succeeded, returns are very high. The milk industry was initiated, has expanded, and we are producing a number of final products such as long shelf, long whole liquid milk, long shelf life liquid milk, yogurt, ghee, butter, powdered milk, and derivatives from milk such as a protein known as casein, apparently needed in food supplements and medicine. Maize processing is growing to produce maize flour, akahunga, animal feeds, starch, etc. Cassava processing is growing, producing cassava flour, starch, ethanol, etc. With coffee, we are determined to add value to it, so that instead of a kilogram giving us $25, it gives us $25. No, instead of giving us $2.5, this is 2.5, my people. 2.5, it gives us $25 to 40, and creates more jobs for our people. Cotton, the shirts I always put on are from our cotton. The shirt I'm putting on right now is from our cotton with polyester added from outside. You Ugandans, please help us to get rid of imported clothes, including dead people's clothes. Engoye z'abafu zemuleeta wano zimuyita second hand. Engoye z'abafu abanyankole baziyita mtwijuro. We squander $418 million per year on imported cloth. Phase 5 has been the introduction of the knowledge economy. This is the economy that is not just based on more processing of the mere processing of the raw materials. It involves the greater use of science and skills. This is where the automobiles industry is, the vaccines, the vaccine making, the assembling and manufacturing of computers and computer parts. That's where they come in. Our economy was US dollars 3.9 billion in 1986. It is now US dollars 55 billion. It has been growing at the rate of 6.3% per year for the last 38 years. We are now a lower middle income country with the GDP per capita of US dollars 1,154. Therefore, the groups that have been misinforming the public recently about the parasitic agencies that we are rationalizing, especially coffee, are a disgrace to the country. I even feel embarrassed to participate in the controversy. Mpura n'okuswala eggwanga lyonna okubeerawo boogala ku bitaliimu mwanyi. That's why I've called all these people to help you understand. Kiswaza n'okuswaza okusanga awo abantu baguumalidde mu bitaliimu eby'omugaso ne babyerabira. How could anybody who wants Uganda to grow spend even 1 week, let alone the 7 years we have spent on this subject, on this issue, discussing such an obvious issue? This sentence is mixed up. We shall sort it out. Suppose we had only coffee with our wonderful UCDA. How would the country survive? Because you see, coffee. Now suppose, okay, let's say, we now say, okay, thank you very much. Let's only do coffee. Kuanga UCDA, now another people are saying, coffee. We only do coffee. Now, suppose we did that. How could the country survive? With a population of 46 million, each person needs 2,000 calories per day. Kubanga abasayansi basobola okubala petrol y'omubiri gye gwetaaga peteroli in the form of calories, baziyita calories mu luzungu, eziva mu mmere, coming from food. And they are saying that another person needs 2,000 calories per day. With 46 million people, we would need 550,000 metric tons of wheat to feed ourselves. This would cost, okulya kwokka emigati engano would cost US dollars 380 million per year imported from outside. This is just eating. How about clothing? How about cement and other building materials for shelter? Moreover, Uganda is not like Japan or South Korea or those countries where the main and sometimes the only resource is a skilled population that they use to manufacture cars, etc. Uganda has both the human resource and the natural resource. We shall use them to create prosperity for our people. So therefore, while some of the people, the colonialists, we are talking about coffee, cotton, and copper, and tea, tobacco, and tourism. For us, we are talking about 60 efforts. We are talking about 60 products bananas, cocoa, milk, beef, maize, cassava. Cassava is going to be a very big money earner. It's already becoming one. Sugar cane, we are talking about all those. Then we are talking about the industrial products. We are not including the industrial products. Cement, what. We are talking about a full economy, not a partial economy. These side agencies, UNRWA, UCDA, DDA, etc., were a temporary measure. Were temporary measures that I accepted at the beginning of our government, mainly because of the low pay for our public servants and their low enthusiasm and motivation for work. The logic was that for particular projects, in order to ensure implementation, create a side group outside the public service, pay them well, and facilitate them well, so that the project is implemented. It was tied to particular effort. I did not fully accept this logic, but I also did not oppose it, because we had much more serious problems at that time. We, the FRONASA, NRA, NRM, always work for patriotism, not for money. And indeed, other Ugandans do the same. The research scientists at Kawanda, Chituza, Sereri, etc., and the leaders have been working for low salaries for most of this time. Baliwano, I've called some of the research people. I think one of them can speak. Do you speak? Who speaks English? Okay. Put on your microphone and speak what you do.
Your Excellency, at NARO, an agency under the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, we conduct agricultural research on crops, on fisheries, on livestock, and forestry. Your Excellency, over the years at NARO...
When did you start working?
Your Excellency, I started working in 1988. At that time, the research wing was under the ministry. And then in 1992, when NARO was established, I was moved from the ministry to NARO. And I've been able to get up in the ranks, and today I'm the Director General for NARO. Your Excellency, over the years, NARO has been able to develop over 1,000 different crop varieties. So most of the food we eat in this country, Your Excellency, is developed by the scientists under NARO. Your Excellency, specifically to coffee. In 1991, you will remember very well, Dr. Israel Kibirige Sebunya was able to promote the then 8 colonial coffee varieties, what we called colonial coffee. And these were promoted. And then in 1997, NARO under Kituza started what we call a breeding program for the second generation coffee varieties. Your Excellency, I'm glad to report to you that in a space of 1997 to 1913, NARO has been able to develop a total of 10 coffee Robusta varieties, what we call KR1, KR up to KR10. K stands for Kituza, R stands for Robusta. Your Excellency, we have now also been able now to start a breeding pipeline for also Arabica coffee. I'm glad to report to you, Your Excellency, that previously we have been able to release also 3 Arabica coffee varieties. We now have a pipeline for Robusta coffee and a pipeline for Arabica coffee. And we have near promising varieties, 5 of them for Robusta and near promising other varieties 3 for Arabica coffee.
Okay, thank you. Now, are you under UCDA?
Your Excellency, we are under...
Because some people have been saying, no UCDA, no coffee. Now, are you under UCDA?
Yes, we are under the ministry, we are not under UCDA.
Now, how much money were you earning in 1988? How much salary?
Your Excellency, when I joined service, my first salary was 2,824. When I first joined service in the ministry, it was 2,000 shillings, 2,824. When I moved to Narrow, my first salary was 150,000. 150,000. Your Excellency, I'm glad to report to you that at the moment the entry salary in Narrow is 6.5 million.
No, but you continue getting the low salaries until when? When did we start enhancing?
Your Excellency, we started to get an enhancement in the year 2004.
Okay.
2004.
So
and Your Excellency, when you visited us during the World Food Day at Rwebitaba in 2016, is when you enhanced our salary in 2016. You again enhanced our salaries in 2018.
Yes.
You further again enhanced our salaries in 2022.
Thank you.
We are very grateful, Your Excellency.
So you can, you see the real people who help us with all these crops are these ones.